Hey everybody, hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm a bit rusty on this whole live stream thing. Actually, I don't even need these. I'm gonna take that off. Very rusty, so bear with me. Hopefully my volume's not coming in too hot. If you guys can let me know, that would be super handy. But it's been 5 years. 5 of the craziest years of my life doing YouTube. And I can't believe it's already been 5. This morning I woke up and I was planning to do a big old celebration thing, and somehow it just slipped my mind. So I got notified by YouTube, hey, it's been 5 years. And I thought, let's do a live stream. So that's what we're doing today. Just thought it'd be fun to hang out with all of you and express my gratitude for the 5 years of just amazing support. So I'm going to check out some of these comments. Good to see you all. RG Army, love from India. Daniel Sample. We got Tech Mixer up in here. Dude, hope you're doing well. Let me scale these up. You guys are the important ones here. Asiesto is saying they've learned a lot here. Hey, I'm so glad. Loud and clear from Helen. Thank you, Helen. And sounds good. We're off to a good start. Even though I'm so rusty, it's been I've basically been relearning Ecamm Live this entire morning. So hi from Brazil. Hey! How are you in Brazil? Hope you guys are doing well. Man, there's so many of you. And let's see, from Latvia, Cherry Chong, congrats, bro. I learned a lot from you. Really appreciate what you're doing. Love from England, it looks like. I was there not too long ago. Loved it over there. Hi, thank you for your work. Yeah, absolutely. Glad I get to do what I do. So, yeah, like I said, it's been 5 years, and I thought I'd just open up the floor, let you guys ask anything. It could be about Final Cut Pro. It could be about Apple Motion. It could be about my life. And I just want to use this as a resource to be as helpful as possible. Because, 5 years teaches you a lot of stuff. So I am always learning more and more about YouTube every day, and I'm happy to share anything I know there. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but I'm always learning new tips and tricks, so love to share there. And if you guys missed it, I did post a video of my entire workflow in Final Cut Pro, literally starting from getting the idea all the way to publishing to YouTube. That was probably the biggest endeavor I've ever done on the channel, outside of creating my Apple Motion Masterclass. It was a lot of work, so I'm really happy with how everybody received it. But if you didn't get to see that, definitely go check that one out. That was a really fun one. And man, we're getting more comments here. I got to catch up to everybody. My Patreon is wonderful. Thanks a lot. Hey, I am so glad you like the Patreon. Patreon is one of my favorite avenues here on the channel because I get to put out the little projects I make in Apple Motion for all of you. So I'm really glad you're liking that. Logan Webb is asking if I would ever consider doing a full comprehensive Final Cut Pro course. I've loved seeing videos here and there, but something structured like your Motion course would be awesome. Yes, I really do want to do that. I should have done it this year, but this has been the craziest, most chaotic year, in a good way, of my life. I'm just barely catching up to everything, so I've not done a Final Cut Pro course. It will come someday. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be amazing whenever it does. I am slowly working on it, kind of creating an outline and stuff, but yeah, it's definitely not here. It is in the works though. Daniel sample, I hope we get. Yeah, me too, Daniel. Oh, let's see. Tech Mixer saying your tutorials and content make me want to supercharge all my content. Appreciate you a lot, dude. I appreciate that, dude. And also, I got to hang out with Tech Mixer in real life, and he was just such a good time. So it's cool to see him here in the comments. I hope we get a shout out from Ryan Trahan. I know, Daniel, that would be incredible. For those of you that don't know, I just posted a video it's the Wheel of Doom from Ryan Trahan's really popular series 50 States in 50 Days, and he's trying to raise money for St. Jude's Medical Hospital for cancer research, I think. And what's cool about St. Jude's is they cover the entire cost of care for children. And if you don't live in the US, that is a huge deal here because medical expenses are astronomical. It's kind of a joke. So the fact that St. Jude comes in and covers those expenses for children is just huge. And so he is working to raise money for that. And so I thought, hey, I want to get in on that. I created a little video showing the Wheel of Doom in Final Cut Pro. And if you donate $5,000 to the cause, he does a little shout out in his video. And I really want to do a shout out from the Final Cut Pro community as a whole. It's not going to be featuring myself or anything. It's just going to be like, hey, love from the Final Cut Pro community. We love what you're doing. And so I'm going to be matching donations. You can go over, oh, you know what? Let me post a link to that. And I'm not trying to sell anything. This doesn't go to me for any reason. This is just trying to raise money for St. Jude's. If you guys do a super chat here, I will donate that to St. Jude as well. Let's see here. Let me find that thing I made, the Wheel of Doom. We'll get there eventually. Let's see, Wheel of Doom. And so basically it's just pay what you want, and any money that's raised, I am going to match up to $2,500. And I'll share that here in the chat. So yeah, if you guys are interested, it would mean a ton to me. I've been loving the Ryan Trahan series. I love what St. Jude's doing, and I would love to support the cause. So we're going to do the best we can with this community we have here. And again, it's just going to be a shout out from the Final Cut Pro community as a whole. It's not going to say, hey, go subscribe to the Final Cut Pro, because that's not what it's about. It's purely about just raising money for kids in need, for cancer research, and all of the awesome medical stuff that goes on here in the US. So yeah, if you're interested, there is a link to the Wheel of Doom. There's also a video on that page that you can check out, and not a single penny of that goes towards me. So anyway, Let's keep on going through these messages because there's so many of you. Holy cow. Congratulations on 5 years. Thank you. 5 years has gone so fast. I cannot believe it. In fact, this is what's crazy. Not that I leave jobs frequently or anything, but YouTube is officially the longest job I've ever had, which blows my mind. So I typically stick around with a job for 3-4 years, and YouTube's 5, and I'm still loving it, and I'm still going to keep doing this every single day. So thank you, everybody, for making this a possibility. It really does mean a lot to me. Daniel Sample, any tips for vlog editing? Hey, if you want good tips for vlog editing, seriously, watch Ryan Trahan. That guy knows how to create a vlog. Or Casey Neistat, those two. Just watch them, really study them, take note. They're so good at telling a story from point A to point B. And I think that's the key that a lot of people are missing with vlogs. In fact, I watched some old vlogs I made. They're so bad. People are missing the story, the hook, the through line that goes from the start, like what is the end goal of this particular vlog? What's the conflict you have in the middle? And then at the end, what is the end goal? You accomplished it, or maybe you failed and you learned something new. So I think that is huge in vlog editing, is to find the story, because everybody forgets that. They're just like, oh, I just want to make videos about my life. And your life is cool for sure, but to make people engage with it online, you're definitely going to want to find the story elements there. So that's my tips for vlog editing. I want to say, how do I say this name? Bagchat? I don't know. I'm sorry. too American here. In your opinion, when will AI start taking away jobs from editors? Honestly, it's probably doing it right now, and that could seem scary, but like people are using AI, right, to create shorts for YouTube. And it's not so much as stealing jobs. It's taking a lot of the mundane jobs away from editors right now. Like I use AI for enhancing my audio processing, right? And that's technically taking the job from somebody who actually knows and understands the audio. But I think in the end, it's actually just making it so we can output more content, right? And so if you can use AI to further your creativity, I actually think it's a really helpful tool. If you're using AI to just put out slop and just garbage shorts and misinformation and all that stuff, AI is very frustrating. But I really genuinely think that if creators are using it to further their output, it's actually a very helpful tool and it's exciting. And I don't think we need to be as terribly afraid of it as a lot of people think they will be. Like, is this taking my job? I just think that you have to find that balance, right? Make sure your creativity is coming through. You're not relying on ChatGPT to come up with all your ideas, but use it to enhance your ideas and make them better and more approachable for more people. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's my thoughts on AI. RG Army saying, thank you for Saber, Dylan. Hey, I'm so glad you like Saber. I am so incredibly proud of how that particular product came out. I was so inspired by Video Copilot and was like, hey, I want something like this for Final Cut Pro. So I did the best I can. My tools are limited, but I'm really happy with it, and I'm really glad you're liking it. Let's see. How do you plan to keep making FCP content when Apple is so slow at adding new features? Maybe more motion or how to edit light content? Yep, that's exactly how I'm going to keep making videos for Final Cut Pro. So just focusing on creating concepts from other YouTubers, I think that's huge. Other TV shows is huge. And really, editing is kind of an unlimited box of ideas, right? Because people are constantly creating. Movies are always coming out. TV shows are always coming out. YouTubers are always creating. And so if you're just looking at, okay, what are these amazing things other creators are doing? How can I bring that into Final Cut Pro? It's an unlimited box of ideas. So it can seem daunting to be like, okay, Final Cut's not getting any new features for the last 6 months. What am I going to make a video on? But you just have to realize it doesn't always have to be features focused on Final Cut. It's just recreate fun concepts from other creators. So I think it's really easy to focus on the tools, but it's kind of like a painter just really focusing on their paintbrushes rather than actually focusing on creating great paintings. So just really look around for more ideas. Broaden the horizons. Don't focus so much on the tools, but focus more on what inspires you as a creator and what gets you excited to edit. Let's see, Tech Mixer. He has to post our interview pre-haircut. Yes, the hair is gone now. That interview is old news, my friend. We gotta reshoot. Mr. Bill C says, dude, you're amazing and have got me into editing. You're the reason why I bought Final Cut Pro. Oh man, that's huge. I'm so glad. So I'm still learning and I got your motion package, still working through that. So thank you. Hey, I am so glad. That's crazy. It's crazy that I could inspire somebody to buy Final Cut Pro. So that makes me super happy. I'm glad you're part of the community here. JM Tech, I have learned a lot from your videos. My channel wouldn't be as big as it is if it wasn't for all your editing tips. That is so cool. I'm so glad to hear. That means a ton. I love getting to see other creators growing their channel from the stuff I'm teaching here. So that really means a lot to me. Zobear? Exobar? I'm sorry, I can't say all these names. Nice to get you up on live. Yes, I'm so glad. Thank you. Let's see. Technologic Tech. Congratulations. How did you survive dry stretches where it seemed nobody watches the videos? That is actually one of the hardest parts of doing YouTube. In fact, the video I just posted is a 10 out of 10. And if I'm being honest, it has made me feel just a little bit sad. This live stream's reviving me for sure. It's hard, but you just have to constantly remember, and something that my wife always reminds me is that you're going to post another video next week. So if this one fails, you'll just be back to next week with another banger video. So it's really hard, but the ability to create YouTube videos and have that as a full-time job is so worth the hard times that comes with seeing a video not perform as well as you'd hoped. Yes, I could go work a regular 9-to-5 job that would, that would pay the bills, but that's going to come with its own hardships. Every single job has its own hardships. It doesn't matter how amazing of a dream job it is. It's going to have hard times. And so you just have to kind of pick the battles of like, is it worth having some, disappointing views on a video? Yes, absolutely. And if there are 100 people that get a lot of value out of a single video, that means so much more than having every video get 1 million views, right? Because a lot of the time people will watch a video and they'll forget you ever exist, and that means nothing. But what's really cool is getting people who get like a single nugget from one of your videos and get a ton of information out of it. So I'm kind of rambling at this point, but yeah, YouTube, the ups and downs are there, of course, but just know that it literally just takes one video to get you back up and to get your views coming back in and the subscribers coming back in and all that stuff here. So you really just have to focus on creating the next piece of content when one doesn't do as well as you're hoping. Let's see. Zobear is saying, I've learned so much and created my shortcuts. Yes, I love to see it. Shortcuts are one of my favorite parts of editing. Tony Vargas, how do you feel Final Cut Pro handles color correction? Is the only way to color grade using nodes? My goal is to use Final Cut Pro for my documentary work and short films. Tony, you absolutely need to check out Eric Lentz's channel for color grading in Final Cut Pro. He is an exceptional creator. And then Dylan John has an exceptional color grading course. And Brad West also has an exceptional color grading course. So those guys really understand color. I think they see everything in multicolored rainbows. I don't know. They're much better teaching color than I am. But I actually think that Final Cut Pro has much better color grading tools than people give it credit for. And it at least is on par with Premiere's color grading tools. It's definitely not as good as DaVinci Resolve, of course. But for 90%, 95% of the work that's out there, you can absolutely do everything you need to do in Final Cut Pro. So that's my hot take on color grading in Final Cut. Yes, it doesn't have stuff like aces, and it doesn't have all the correct transform LUTs already inside of Final Cut, but it is way better than people give it credit for. So I think you could absolutely color grade an entire documentary inside Final Cut if you wanted to. It might not be on the same level as Resolve, but it also doesn't come with the same learning curve. So there's that. Wanderfeet Chronicles says, "Hey Dylan, just quickly popped on to say congrats on the 5 years. You've been a lifesaver with me in Final Cut Pro. Long may that continue. Your heart is pure." Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. For a second, I read that your hair is pure, not your heart is pure. And I was like, I guess the short hair makes it pure. But yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm glad that's coming through. Helen is saying, "Hoping you hit 100,000 subscribers before the year end." Yes, I would love that. That would mean so much to me. The numbers aren't looking like it, but maybe we'll get a absolutely explosive video here and it could happen. Obviously, that's only possible with all of your guys' support. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, maybe help me out and subscribe. That would mean a ton. Fun Shorts, how can we make 3D videos in Final Cut Pro? Fun Shorts, that depends on your definition of 3D. Final Cut's not super 3D focused. It can handle 3D graphics, but if you're really wanting to get into 3D, I would go over to Blender for that. Blender is exceptional, and the benefit is that it's free. So if you're really wanting to get heavier into 3D, I would focus on actual 3D software. If you're looking at just like creating, what's a creator? Magnets Media. They have a lot of kind of 3D camera pans and pushes through. The best way to do that is inside of Apple Motion, as it has a 3D camera, but I did create a video not that long ago called Editing Like Magnets Media, and I show you how to do those kind of 3D moves in Final Cut Pro with 2D images. So Final Cut, again, not super, hey, we got the doggo in here. It's not super designed for 3D, but that's kind of one way you can approach it. James is saying, "Congrats, Dylan. Thank you so much for all you do for the community. Been such a help for me." Hey, I am so glad. Thank you, James. Marlon Morin, "Hey, Dylan. I've been contemplating grabbing your Motion Masterclass. Is it designed to help me get a good understanding of all Motion has to offer, or specifically the projects in the Masterclass?" Marlon, so my initial goal when I set out to create the Masterclass was to show all of the potential that Motion has. And in fact, there's even stuff further reaching beyond what the entire course covers, but it shows all aspects. So it shows motion design stuff where you're creating backgrounds. It also shows motion tracking for VFX scenes. It shows 3D camera moves with text. It shows enhancing 2D graphics. It really set out to showcase everything. And I think, in my opinion, I think it did a really good job. I've been getting a lot of great reviews from people just letting me know that they appreciate it. So hopefully that says something. But yeah, the intent was to show everything that Motion has and not just one specific facet of what's in the software. Gator, hey, it's good to see you, Gator. What are some of the more nagging bugs you deal with in Final Cut Pro? I find I'll lose the monitor and need to double click on the project to get back. Also, the timeline occasionally zooms out. Yeah, Gator, I have that exact same issue where it just randomly zooms out or it just randomly jumps to another piece of the timeline in Final Cut, and I don't know why. It's one of those like random, super annoying for 5 seconds and then you kind of forget that it happens, but it does happen frequent enough. So that is an issue I've been running into. I don't even know if the overlays bug is still addressed in Final Cut Pro yet. Maybe it is. I haven't checked in 11.1.1. What else have I had? I've had it so sound effects, I'll drag them from Finder into Final Cut Pro and they'll randomly just be disconnected for no reason. And then I'll just go re-grab the sound effect and re-drag it in and then it's totally fine. I don't know what that's about. There's a few of those little nagging issues that I see. I can't think of others, but I do know there are some. Fortunately, this latest release I've had 0 crashes on, so that's always nice. But yeah, those are probably the more egregious issues I've had. Let's see, Daniel, I hope AI don't completely take over everything. I don't mind using it for thumbnails and stuff like the Final Cut Pro smooth slow-mo. Yeah, the smooth slow-mo is so good. But I just love editing. I don't want some AI to do that for me. Hey, Daniel, you know what's great is we can just keep on editing. It doesn't matter if AI comes in, because like it's kind of like playing an acoustic guitar, right? Because like you can you could just pick that up. Computers can't take that away. Everybody still loves playing the acoustic guitar. So I kind of think that's what AI is going to do for us. Like, we have computers to recreate guitar sounds that you can do. You can have it all automated, but that doesn't mean that people stopped playing acoustic guitar. So that's my approach on that. Maybe AI will take over. Who knows? I don't know that there's a lot of reason to worry about it because we can't stop it. Like, it's way bigger than we are as a person. But what we can do is enjoy the process of editing. We can share that love with others. That's the stuff we can do. So we'll just keep on doing that. Let's see. Any system setting tip to improve performance on Apple Motion? That is a great question. So maybe you already know this, but let me open up Motion and share my screen here. Okay, so a couple things you can do in Motion is changing the render settings up here in the top right corner. And check this out. Let's see, I can try this out. Yeah, I can zoom in here. So you can change your resolution. That one does help a lot, but also this quality setting specifically changes a lot. So if you set this to draft, that can help tremendously. And also make sure that motion blur is not checked until you're ready to export, because motion blur just tanks performance like crazy. It doesn't matter what computer you're working on, motion blur can kill it. So like, I have an M4 Max, and when I bring in a lot of particles in motion blur, it still tanks performance. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what it is specifically about motion blur that kills performance, but just make sure that's turned off, and that will help a lot. I can't say I know anything else off the top of my head. It depends on if you're working with vector graphics. I don't have a vector graphic in here. But if you had like a PDF or something, you can set it to a fixed resolution, and setting that to a fixed resolution helps the performance a lot. And so if you want like vectorized graphics where you can scale it to infinity, what I do is I save that till the very end when I'm exporting out the project. And then when I'm ready to export out the project, I'll uncheck fixed resolution, so it gives me the maximum quality. And that's kind of my best approach for performance in Motion. I don't know if that helps you at all. That's the stuff I would do. Other than that, I would just close out all the apps on your Mac and let Motion take over. Namath says, how do you, let's see, there it is. How do you see Final Cut Pro versus DaVinci Resolve on long term? Will Final Cut Pro keep up, or Resolve will take over the editing SW world? Greetings from Hungary. Hey, to Hungary. You know what? I think Resolve has already taken it over. You know, I think Resolve is absolutely killing it. Huge congrats to them and the developer team over there. That said, I personally just love Final Cut Pro so much that it doesn't matter. Like, I have Resolve Studio on my Mac. I can use Resolve at any time when I want to, but I just have such a love for how Final Cut Pro handles footage and how I can edit it through it. I do have kind of a cringy video I made a while ago about how much I love Final Cut Pro, and it's just, in the end, it's like, what makes you excited to edit? I always get this question, is like, what do you think of DaVinci Resolve? I think Resolve is awesome. I think it's great, and if people like that editing software, go use it. That's so cool. It's free, so go check it out. But for me, I just love the flow of Final Cut Pro. It flows so well. I can edit so fast. I guarantee you that if you put two editors back to back, one who's equally proficient in Resolve and one equally proficient in Final Cut Pro, the Final Cut Pro editor would probably win out in terms of speed, just purely because Final Cut Pro is so fast. But that Resolve has more tools, right? So Resolve got essentially their magnetic mask ages ago. They have more coloring tools. It allows you to get more precise with your edits in Resolve, but Final Cut Pro has more fun, I think. So in the end, try them out, see which one you like better, and use the one you like most. Hey, love your answer, Dylan. Chat, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Yes, like and subscribe. I'm bad at asking for that stuff. So if you guys could do that, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. RG Army, in 2025, is choosing Final Cut Pro over After Effects a risk to my future as a video editor? That's a good question. So Final Cut Pro and After Effects are two pretty different beasts. After Effects obviously is more designed for effects, and maybe you're thinking kind of Premiere Pro to After Effects. I don't know. I do wonder. The thing is I've been doing YouTube for 5 years now, and I'm not working with as many clients as I was previously. Before, nobody cared what editing software I did. They just wanted me to get the video done. So I was working on smaller projects, right? Or when I was editing for a television show, we were just all editing in Final Cut Pro. So I think there's lots of jobs out there for Final Cut Pro editors. I don't know that it's harming your future. I think you just need to showcase that you're a really good editor, and it doesn't matter the tool you're using. Yeah, honestly, I can't speak for the future. It's also very different for every single person, right? So it's rare that TV shows are edited in Final Cut Pro, but that was super awesome for myself. But I don't know. It just comes down to what's the best tool for what you're doing and what do you enjoy editing in most. I do think it's actually valuable to learn Resolve, and I've been learning a little bit of Resolve here and there just for fun, just because it's a good tool to have in your back pocket. So there's nothing saying you can't learn both tools, and then you use the one that you like the most for your own projects. I don't think learning Final Cut Pro hurts your future. If anything, it makes you realize more avenues for editing. Let me think how I can better explain this. So, for example, I've been learning Apple Motion now for about 5 years, and what helped me tremendously is I had a background working with After Effects. And After Effects and Apple Motion, they have similarities, but they are actually quite different. And by learning After Effects, I learned motion faster because I could take techniques from After Effects and translate that into Apple Motion, right? So it's kind of the same with Final Cut Pro. You can learn the concept of a J and an L cut, which is probably the easiest to do in Final Cut Pro out of any editing software out there. And you can go, oh, okay, I need to know how to do a J cut or L cut inside of Premiere or inside of DaVinci Resolve. And so you can take that knowledge from Final Cut Pro and plug it into other software. So yes, the UI is going to be different and there is going to be a learning curve, but you still take over those concepts. So really in the end, it's just do what you like. If you like editing in one, edit it in that one, and be open to learning other software when you need to. Don't shut the door on it just because it's a completely different piece of software. And that's where I'd go with that. Thank you for your content. Hey, absolutely. Thank you for watching. HDBNB. What's the easiest way to color a batch of video shot in S-Log3 and export it? Shot a wedding recently and client wants all the raw footage. Hey, I think you sent me an email and I feel really bad because I didn't respond. Or maybe it was a comment and I wanted to reply, but my inbox has been packed full of pro vertical update requests. So yes. Okay. Let's see if I can showcase this really quick. Let's go. Let me turn on the screen here. So this is how I would approach it. And you were using compressor too. So if I were to select, I guess, Apple devices, let's see if I can do it in Apple devices. Maybe not. It depends on the scale of these videos that you want. So you can add in a LUT in here, camera LUT. Do you see that? So if you are working with a specific type, maybe we got to create a new one, new preset. And we'll just call this one a QuickTime movie. And then we'll come over here and we can add in this camera LUT. And you can add in your own custom LUT. So we're converting S-Log footage. So we'll just select that. And then you could save this as a droplet. So you could just right click on it and select save as droplet. And so now we'll call it let converter or slog converter. Or you could just literally drop it into compressor here. But then any piece of footage I have, let's look at, let's see, Wheel of Doom footage. Here we go. Hopefully this makes sense. So I'll right click on this piece of footage, and I guess I haven't opened it yet. You need to do that. slog converter. So you open it one time, and once you do that, you can now right click any piece of footage, and there it is, slog converter. And if it works, okay, there it is. So now if I were to start this batch, which it's only 2 gigs, hopefully it'll go quick. Maybe I can show you live. So it's going to quickly convert that piece of footage, or I could select tons and tons of pieces of footage, and it should, in theory, if everything worked correctly. I hope I didn't pick a long shot. Nope, it didn't do it. Why didn't it do it? I did something wrong. Camera LUT. Well, this is where I would start, but I think I did something wrong. I'm not prepared. This is where I would start, though. H.264, why didn't it do it? Color space. Rec 709. I don't know what I did wrong. I haven't done this in a while, so that's where I would go, though. I would try this droplet method, or just saving it as a preset over here. Let's see if this works, if I just bring it in. Actually, that would be a good place to start, is just there. So we can see that it's grading it, right? So you could just set up your preset here on the left side, and then drop this onto all the footage, and then start the batch. That's where I would go with that. Hopefully that helps you. Compressor is definitely probably the best method for that. Okay, let's see. Congrats on 5 years. Your content is great. Keep it up, brother. Hey, I appreciate that, Wyman. Let's see. I think it's funny that I can tell what editing software a YouTuber uses by the sound effects. That Ryan Trahan's slurp sound effect in Final Cut Pro. That's awesome. I don't know if they do use. Maybe he does use Final Cut Pro. I don't know. The screenshots I've seen looked kind of like Premiere, kind of like Resolve. It was really tiny in the background, and I was curious what his editors are using. But I do think Ryan mentioned in an interview he just loves the aesthetic that Apple has, and so it is possible that they got the same Final Cut Pro sound effects library. Maybe they've used Final Cut Pro in the past. I don't know. I would be curious though, because Final Cut would make so much sense for what they're doing, editing 50 videos in 50 days. So I would love to find out for sure what they're using, but I actually don't know for sure. Pierre saying, hey Dylan, I love your work. Greets from oh man, how do you say that country? This is just my American just going full blown. Appreciate you. Hello, bro. I have a blind, no eyeballs daughter whose mission in life is to make everyone in the world happy with her beautiful singing voice. My YouTube videos are falling flat. Can you please suggest something product to really make them special, to impress, idol, etc. Please. Hashtag Audrey Rose Walker. You know, that is so hard to say. I don't know that having special plugins will help people connect better with your daughter, but I do think what would help is just having a really short and sweet, maybe like a 10-minute video showing your daughter's life from growing up, and really showcase the struggle she's had as a singer and somebody who's blind. I really don't think that plugins for Final Cut Pro are going to make that video resonate with people better. I do think a really good story is. And it sounds like an incredible story. I think you have so much potential there to share that. And it really does come down to, a few things for something like that. It's going to come down to, like your daughter's personality. How is she interacting with people? And then it's going to come down to the story of how she got started, what inspires her to sing. You could add fancy, flashy graphics all over the screen, but that's not what's going to draw people to your daughter's story. What's going to draw them is just the heart behind her story and the conflict she's overcome and how she's using the lessons she's learned in life and the the conflict she's come across, how she's using that to better others around her. And a story like that is really, really going to help people resonate with her, and American Idol or whatever might connect with that better. So that's my personal opinion. If you're really looking for amazing plugins, of course I release some, but Motion VFX has their design studio pack with over 4,000 different templates and stuff. I'd go check that out. I do have a link in the description linking to all the stuff that I use regularly. You could check there, but really I would just focus more on the story more than anything. For example, if you go, I'm talking about Ryan Trahan a lot right now, but I'm watching him every day. So, their video editing is so dead simple. I really think that anybody could do it, but they do it so effectively. And there's a lot of hidden things behind. You can tell the editors really know what they're doing to make a great story, but it's not focused on the gear. Most of it's filmed on the iPhone. He's got a little lav mic that he's holding all over the place. And the graphics are so dead simple. They look like screenshots off his phone. But people really connect and resonate with him because they like his personality, they like the conflict that he's overcoming, and they love what he's doing to help others around him. So that's my advice. Take it or leave it. Hopefully that's helpful to you. You do have a heart of gold. I can't thank you enough for your content, your store, your Patreon, and your email responses. Hey, I'm so glad. All credit to Jesus for my heart of gold. So that means a ton to me. Thank you so much. RG Army, Sir Dylan, I work as a video editor for a YouTuber, and our entire editing ecosystem is Mac based. All the video editors on our team watch your content, and we've learned so much from you. Big respect. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. That means a ton to me. Hey, Stuart in the comments. Yo, congrats on 5 years, dude. I appreciate you, Stuart. Hopefully the audio is coming through okay today. Your tips have been helpful. I like I said, I'm pretty rusty on this whole live stream thing. So let's see. We got Enzo Cast Stream. Something I'm sure you know the answer to. When I want to delete a clip from the lowest section of the beginning of the timeline, but end up deleting everything above it. Okay. So that, let's see if I can showcase that. Here we go. Let's do screen mode. Okay. So basically you're saying you've got clips up here, and hopefully you guys can see that okay. And so when you delete this clip, all the clips above are getting deleted. So there's a couple of things you can do here, Enzo. Firstly, if you take a look at the connection point, you'll see the connection point for this clip. I'll go ahead and zoom out. Is actually, sorry, that's this clip. This clip is attached over on that left-hand side. So when I select this clip, I know that clip is always going to be attached there. But if I push Control and Option, this is super key, and then click over here. Whoops. I'm sorry. It's Option and Command. That's the key there. So Option and Command and click. That will change that connection point. And so this clip is still attached to this one, right? So if I delete it, that clip is going to vanish. But this clip is going to stay intact. Now, you'll also notice everything sliding to the left there. And that's where the tilde key comes into play. So the tilde key on American keyboards is just below the escape key on the top left. It looks like a little squiggly line. Some people call it the Grav key, which I think is the actual name for it, but the tilde key is way cooler. So if I push the tilde key and delete, nope, it's not going to do it now for me. Well, that's great. Let me try setting it up over here. Nope, it's still, man, I'm not set up for this demo. Not set up at all. Well, it should. When it's working, I'm doing something wrong. Today's a day of user error, and I think it's because I'm connected between two computers right now to do this. Let's try this. Is it gonna do it? I don't know. This is a bad demo, guys. There we go. Okay, tilde key, you see that little orange icon on my mouse? I can't really zoom in on it, but that should, in theory, lock everything in place there. So when I delete, it's staying in place. I think it's because I was at the very beginning of the timeline and it forced it to move. But those are the keys. Usually that connection point is the really big one. And if you don't want to move or like if you don't want to deal with a lot of pieces of footage and their connection points, you can select them and push Command G. And so now they're in this storyline, and that storyline has a single connection point. So I can move both of these at the same time in their own timeline, and they have their own connection. So hopefully that helps you there. That's where I would start. I do have a full in-depth video on using the entire magnetic timeline, and it shows exactly that. I think it's called The Complete Guide to the Magnetic Timeline. I don't have it pulled up here right now, but that is where I would start there. Hey, Don Bullock, congratulations on the 5 years on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your videos. They've helped me immensely. Thank you. Appreciate that so much, Don. It's always good to see you in the comments, and I think I've seen you in my emails a couple times. Let's see. Do I think the Final Cut Pro team is working on proper auto captions to title support for Final Cut Pro? I have no idea for sure, but I would be very surprised if they weren't, just considering the response from the Final Cut Pro community. I think that everybody's been loud and clear. The thing with Apple is they generally want to do something really, really well when they do it, and it's going to put the other systems out there to shame once they release it. So I think that they take a very long time to release updates, but they always do an exceptional job. For example, the magnetic mask, in my opinion, is one of the best masking tools out there, and it's the easiest. And I think that auto captions are going to have that same kind of result. So here's hoping. I don't know for sure, but I know that I've personally, in getting to chat back and forth with them, I've said, hey, this would be so cool if you could add this feature. And so we'll see what happens there. Hey Dylan, I picked up your pro verticals to use with real estate videos, and it worked great on my latest video, so thanks. Hey, that's awesome. On 3-split screen, they showed up small and had to transform them. Tips? Brian, that is due to, you're probably working with 16:9 footage. So when you apply the 3 splits on there, it's trying to work with a vertical video, right? And so the vertical is only in the center of that piece of footage. Sorry, brain blank. I need a drink of water here. Okay, so basically that particular effect is designed around a vertical format. So what you need to do, I'll switch over to my screen and we'll change this over to a 9:16. Switch that to vertical. So you'll see all my shots are super tiny here. And you said the 3-split effect, although I personally recommend, where is it? Oh, is it triple split? There it is, triple split. So I would actually use the custom split from now on, but let's go ahead and apply this. And oh no, my shot is super tiny. This is purely because Final Cut Pro is auto-conforming this 16:9 shot to a vertical format, and so everything's super tiny. So what you need to do, it sounds like you're using the transform tool, and that works, but my preferred method is to come to the bottom of all of my shots, because I can do this all at once, and we'll go to our video inspector. So everything is selected. You can do this in the browser or in your timeline and change the spatial conform over to fill. And immediately you'll see all the shots fill up that vertical format. So that would be why you're running into that issue. It's just the nature of Apple Motion templates, vertical working with horizontal footage. It's I wish there was like a perfect thing I could do to have it automate that process, but I can't. So hopefully that helps. I just use that spatial conform on all of my footage when I'm working on a vertical timeline. And again, I just released the custom splits, which the triple splits were pretty good, but the custom splits are so much better because now I can apply them. And you could easily do 3 if you wanted to, but I just drag that up. And we could do 5, we could do 10. I mean, look how small I can make these slices. I can make it so tiny. So you can have infinite slices on this piece of vertical footage by applying this to each and every shot. So I really, really am so excited about how these custom splits turned out. I think they completely changed the game. And I basically never touched the triple splits anymore just because this one's so much more convenient and more flexible. So yeah, there we go. I'm done selling my product there. Thanks for giving me that opportunity. let's see. Matthew Pate, what's up, Dylan? When do you think we will get auto title captions? Hey, great question. I don't know. I'm hoping by next year. That would be so cool, but I really have no idea. I do think it's a pretty big necessity for Final Cut Pro. There have been some really great tools that have come out that are kind of filling that gap, but I would just love directly embedded into Final Cut Pro. That would be so cool. And Dream Wish List, I wish it would tie into the titles that are already created for Final Cut. So all the different title templates I've made, if they just automatically worked with it, that would be a game changer. I could come out with a whole title pack based around captions. That would just be incredible. That's the hope. Matthew Pay, also, when using the vertical, if I use the scale function, the circle thing, and the scale the image, if that circle disappears, I can't figure out how to get it to show back up. Oh, that's a great point. I think, let me see. Let me do a quick test here. Okay, this is how you're gonna do it. So Matthew, if you accidentally shrink this too much, which is annoying, that's an Apple Motion on-screen control issue. Can't rescale it. Come over here to the offset scale and drag up this slider here, and that will address that issue with the vertical. So for a second, I was worried that I didn't have that slider there. So it is there. That's how you can get that circle back. Hey, I got a super chat from Javier. Thank you so much, Javier. Just know that these super chats, very grateful, and I'm actually going to donate all of them over to St. Jude's Medical Hospital, and I'm going to be matching $2,500 in a donation. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and hopefully this donation can help everybody else. Let me read it, though. A simple message to say thank you for your tutorials. As a 60-year-old, I really appreciate your teaching style and joy you exhibit. Blessings, Javier. Hey, I appreciate that so much, Javier. That means a ton to me. Wow, that means a lot. I'm so glad. So cool that you're editing videos. Thank you. Enzo saying, I loved using captions on CapCut, but I hope it comes to Final Cut Pro native soon. Yeah, that would be incredible, especially with all the shady stuff CapCut's been doing lately. Don't forget to like the stream chat. Not sure if it actually does anything during a live stream, but hey, every little bit helps, right? Yes, I think it does. I think it pushes the stream a little bit more. I don't know, though. Hey, I have a very specific question. Do you know how to set a linked point that you can interact with inside the viewer on Final Cut to a specific point on a Bezier line, not the entire line? Okay, so are you talking... Man, this is so high up in the chat. Sorry, guys, it's taking me forever to catch up with everybody. A linked point that you can interact with inside the viewer on Final Cut to a specific point on a Bezier line, not the entire line. Okay, so I'm going to show you everything I know about Bezier lines, and hopefully that can help. Let's jump over here. So, in the essence of animation specifically, this is where I can get Bezier lines. This is going to be a mess. Okay, so I blacked it out so we can kind of clearly see what's happening here. So for one, animation Bezier lines, I can create 2 points here. And if I push Command and click and drag, you'll see that that's creating a Bezier line. And you can push Option and click directly on the line, and that will create other keyframe points. So you can do that. That's one way to work with Bezier lines and to add a specific point. If you're talking about shapes, unfortunately, the shapes in Final Cut Pro are pretty lacking, and there isn't a direct Bezier line shape. So if you want Bezier lines, you would probably want to go to Motion and import the footage there, because it has much better Bezier tools. I would love, Apple, if anybody's watching this stream, just give us some cool Bezier shapes. That would be so great. If we could just make a single line, do a little drawing effect, that would be great. So if we can get that someday, that'd be awesome. Hey, Richard, the old chap in Scotland. Scotland is with you. Appreciate you. So glad to see you here, Richard. Congrats on 5 years. You truly helped me through quite a bit with Final Cut Pro and Motion. When I first got Motion, I had to watch a bunch of videos to figure out. Hey, you and me both, Daniel. I watched a lot of Simon Ubsdell, Ripple Training, and and Jen Jager had some great tutorials too. So those were kind of my 3 mainstays for learning Motion at the very start. Totally changed the game for me. Cedric Banks, if you were a realtor coming from CapCut to Final Cut Pro, how would you edit home tours? I've always just done speed ramps, but I want to do cooler edits and maybe use magnetic mask. Ooh, that's a really great question, Cedric. So, somebody you should check out for this style of editing is Ryan Nangle. He does some awesome edits specifically for like home tours. So one of my favorite effects he's done is he's kind of sliced up the building and he animates it all flying in. You've probably seen that all over Instagram. So he does all of that stuff directly in Final Cut Pro, and it's just gotten even easier with the magnetic mask. So a lot of the stuff he shows are using draw masks, but now you can use the magnetic mask to do the same effect, and it's way easier than, clicking each and every point. So I would go check out Ryan Nangle and RyanNangle, and you'll find a ton of awesome stuff over there for the real estate kind of style video. Let's see. Are you looking forward to using Final Cut Pro for the iPad when iOS 26 launches? Yes, I am actually super excited about iOS 26. I think that's going to be huge for the iPad. I do have my iPad running Stream Deck right now, so that's how I'm flipping between the different camera angles. So yes, very, very excited. I think that is going to be huge for Final Cut Pro. And I'm also hoping that comes with a substantial update for the iPad to get it even closer to the Mac version of Final Cut Pro. Ocho Verde, let's see. How long have you been using Final Cut Pro? Was it your first editing program? Well, let's see. I'm coming up on 20 years of using Final Cut Pro. I was super fortunate as a young lad. My father's a filmmaker, and so he had access to an early version of Final Cut Pro. I don't remember which version Final Cut was on 20 years ago. But because of his business, I was able to use his Final Cut Pro license. And so that was very fortunate for me to have access to those super high-end professional tools. And then the very day that Final Cut Pro 10 came out, I used a bunch of lawn mowing money to purchase. And so, that's where I was. I was a young kid, and it came out at the perfect time because my brain couldn't quite comprehend complex editing concepts, but the magnetic timeline was exactly what I needed. And so I had so much fun editing as a kid using the magnetic timeline in the new version of Final Cut. And I do know a lot of professionals left, and they're like, hey, I'm jumping ship going to Adobe. But man, perfect place, perfect time for little old, however old I was, I forget. I have to look it up every time I'm doing a podcast or something. But however old I was when Final Cut Pro 10 came out. So as far as other editing software I've used, my friend used Sony Vegas when I was a kid, so we played around with that a little bit. But I didn't ever... There was nothing that really stuck with me quite like Final Cut Pro 10 did, specifically. So that software made it so easy for me, and yeah, that was really incredible. And then at this point, I actually do quite regularly pop open DaVinci Resolve for various different needs. Color grading is one, and then they have cool AI depth masks. There's some really cool stuff in Resolve, so I am using Resolve more regularly than you would expect for a Final Cut Pro YouTuber, but it's purely just for the learning aspect of it. And then my true love is always Final Cut Pro. Let's see. Foxtail Media, I have had a goal to get serious about consistency on YouTube. I've uploaded 55 vids this year and have a goal of 100 uploads this year. The numbers are not great. Has more uploads equaled better numbers? Funny you should ask that question, because I have been uploading less and I am getting more views. So no, I would not say that uploading more has equated to more views. What has equated is better packaging of my titles and thumbnails. So what used to be an afterthought for me, I'd figure it out as I'm uploading. I now purposefully try and figure out what I'm going to package it as before I upload. And like the views on my latest videos have been awesome, minus the video where I'm doing a St. Jude donation. I think that just is because not everybody in my audience watches Ryan Trahan. But yeah, the views have been crazy. It blows my mind that I'm getting some of these views. So I really think that packaging is way more valuable than quantity of videos, and also focusing on making every video just a little bit better in one way or another, whether that's, oh, I got better audio, I got better color grading, I had, better J and L cuts, just very minor improvements all the way through is going to accumulate. So if you look at my very first video on the channel here, it's pretty bad, not gonna lie, which is crazy because at that point I had had 15 years of video editing experience. You would think, oh, I really know what I'm doing with video editing, but I really had to find my flow and pacing of how I delivered my videos. I had to get better at presenting on camera because, man, is it weird looking into a camera and hearing your own voice and all of that. So even though I had lots of knowledge about video editing, I really had to learn my specific style, my pacing, the color grading specifically for my skin tone. It is very slightly different than others. The contrast levels, I had to figure out all of that stuff one video at a time. And you can really see a marked difference between each and every video improving over time. And now, even though technically my videos look way higher quality than my very first videos, they're honestly less effort and less work to create now than they were when I first started, because I've built out workflows, which again, I do show in my full workflow video, which you can check out. And so it's not so much that over time you're going to be putting more work into these videos. You'll actually probably be putting less work into them. You just need to learn those workflows and then focusing on just really, really strong packaging. Not clickbait. That's huge. Don't clickbait the videos, but focusing on trying to figure out a perspective that draws in somebody who might not have ever cared about the subject, right? I'm blanking on examples right now. My brain is fried, but yeah, hopefully there's a bit of information in there. Can you imagine that there will soon be a feature like tracking through an update? Pierre, are you wondering about like 3D tracking? Because there is the object tracker, and I have a full video on that, my updated object tracker video. So I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, or if you're talking specifically about tracking. Oh, maybe you're referencing your Bezier points, because you can't track Bezier points specifically like something in After Effects. You can do that in Motion, but you can't do that in Final Cut Pro. Maybe that's what you're referencing. Fox told me, I have 2 videos with 400 subs. The upload frequency does not matter as much as quality unless you're dealing with a topic that is timely, such as politics or update previews to software. Yeah, that's huge right there. And again, that's going to come down to packaging, right? Because what's going to make somebody excited to watch a software update video, the packaging around it's a software update, right? So that's what I'd focus on. Thumbnails, titles, those are just way more important than you could ever realize. Wondering, do I still get clients to work for, or are you completely on your own now, working for yourself, doing YouTube full-time, making plugins and FCP courses? So I am in a very fortunate position. So I take on clients well, firstly, if I'm able to, but secondly, it's only projects that I'm really passionate and excited about. So I turned down so many email clients and stuff, and it's weird because now I do YouTube and I don't need the clients, but I get all the emails and clients coming my way. So that's just the nature of things. So I'm super fortunate because I get to choose the specific projects I do, and I do them when I'm really passionate about them. But 99% of my income is YouTube itself, and I would have to say that probably 80% of that income from YouTube comes from selling of my plugins. So it's not from AdSense. It's not even from sponsorships. I try and keep my sponsorships to a bare minimum, if at all. It's only when I'm really, really passionate and excited about the product I'm presenting. So yeah, it all comes from the plugins that I create and sell, which is so huge because I'm my own boss. I can make videos about my own plugins when I want. So yeah, digital products are huge if you're trying to become a YouTuber, if you can solve the issue of creating, specifically digital products are huge because you have infinite stock, right? If you can come up with a physical product, that's huge. But digital products are so helpful as a creator because you have infinite stock. They're very easy to manage. You just upload files and download files. And so that's why I love digital products. And that's how I make an income. Yes, 5 years. Wow. It's crazy. Blows my mind. Really appreciate the live tip. Maybe when you have time, you can make a tutorial for the wedding videographers out there. Hey, that'd be great. One of the first client videos I ever did was a wedding video. And I feel sorry for that client, but they didn't ever pay me. So it worked out. It was not a very good video. Xander, hi Dylan, I'm new to Final Cut Pro. I have a ton of voiceover driven videos. Do you recommend using voiceover on main storyline? Oh, that's a good question. Yes, actually, I would probably do voiceover as the main storyline and build off of that because it's really easy to set up your pacing off the main storyline. You can use gap clips to spread out, create more distance, or shrink it down, and then having your music underneath that. And that is going to allow you, if you ever realize, oh, I want to completely move this section of video, I want to move it later in the story or earlier in the story, everything's going to be attached to that voiceover. So you just move the voiceover in the magnetic timeline and it will move over beautifully. So that's actually the personal workflow I would do for that, Xander. Enzo, is there a method of finding out which events within a library that are the largest, or a method to arrange them from biggest to smallest? That is such a good question. I don't think there is. Quick check. Oh wait, hold on. I'll jump to the screen here. Let's just see. Because I don't know for sure. So if we do add, I don't think so. Okay, so I'll walk you through where I would look for this. I don't know if it's possible. So in the top right, you can click this search for clips and create this filter. And you can come to the top right and it would be media type maybe you can do is video and audio. No, I don't think that's possible, but that's a really good question. But I would just search around in that filter section and see. You could also technically, if you click on this icon here at the top, and let's expand this out. Oh, drag it. There we go. See all of the info up here at the top. So you can actually right click on that and you can add additional variables here. So I'm trying to see if there's like a media size. I don't know if there is. I don't think there is. Yeah. This is where I would look though. So if you right click on that, you can add your own and then you can sort by that by clicking on it. You can also click and drag these around too. So if you wanted it in a better position. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's where I would look and see if that works. Let's see. Okay. Frankenchino, such a cool name. Love your videos like always. Thank you so much for all the tips. I have grown with you so much. All the hello from Cancun, Mexico. I love Cancun. I got to go there on a family vacation when I was, I think, 11. I got the worst sunburn of my life, but man, I loved Cancun. I definitely want to go back. Sean Hotley, what's one YouTube viewing subject that always captivates you? I will never have a lathe, but I always find myself hypnotized by a wood turning video. Yeah. What captivates you and inspires you as a creator? Great question, Sean. Man, I love I think the channel is SB Mowing, and it's this guy that goes around and he mows lawns for free as a short, and he does a time lapse of the whole thing, and he's helping people in the community. So he does it completely for free, and the ad revenue basically pays for the free mowing service that he does. Man, I love watching those videos so much. I don't know what it is. It's just the lawn maintenance captivates, makes me glued to the screen. So SB Mowing, go check him out. How get this software in Windows for free? Wow, you're blowing up the chat. Please keep this. You know what? I'm gonna ban you. Here we go. Okay, yes, we finally caught up to the spam. I'm sorry, everybody had to see that spam. Jeez. Here we go. Hey, Final Cut Bro, my question for you is there a plugin that can create captions automatically and time it as per the audio in the project? Does it work with multiple languages? Let me reread that because this banning really got me. My question for you is there any plugin or feature that can create captions automatically, time it as per the audio in project? Does it work with multiple languages? Okay, great question. So yes, there's actually a lot of different tools. One that I used early on is called Captionator, which is really cool. I don't know the state that it's in right now, but it was really effective early on. Another awesome one is Motion VFX's M Captions. So that one is probably the highest quality. I do believe it supports multiple languages. And then there's another one called Brett Effects, just put out subtitles for Final Cut Pro, animated subtitles. And within that, he also worked with another creator. What is this? Animated captions? Man, I wish I knew this off the top of my head. But basically, the app will automatically animate the subtitles for you, and you can use Brett FX's super cool subtitles. So you can check those out. There's honestly a lot of options you can look into that will do that. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Guys, very sorry about all these spam chats here. Ash Lawson, hey, it's good to see you. Hey, Dylan, congrats on 5 years, man. What motion feature would you like the most? Okay, great question. The most. If I had to choose one feature in motion that like I could have today, would probably be, man, I think 3D tracking would be killer. But it's so hard to say. It's so hard. I think 3D tracking or the ability, okay, this one might take the cake. The ability to add audio to Final Cut Pro templates, that would change the game because that would speed up my workflow so much if I just had the sounds embedded into the templates. So that's where I would go, Ash. Yes, guys, thank you for the spam. I don't even know if I have a moderator in here right now because I just ran it. Hi, Temporal. Good to see you. Audrey Rosewalker, I love your advice. It exhibits exemplary skill set and compassion. I understand everything you said, and I will focus on the items you suggested. Bless you for your time and thoughtfulness, Jim. Yes, absolutely. So glad I was able to help. Hi, Dylan. I would be glad if you could explain how to use the backgrounds. There's plenty of plugins with backgrounds, but I'm really confused when and how to use it correctly. Thank you for the explanation. Okay, so I guess you're wondering, like, why would you want to use a background? Why they're even in Final Cut? So I have some minimalist backgrounds. Actually, my new Pro Vertical update also has more backgrounds. Maybe I'll use those because I'm already in a vertical timeline. So there's a lot of reasons. You could use them to show messages on screen. So I'll just bring this here. So I use backgrounds when I specifically don't have B-roll. B-roll being like the additional footage that complements what's being talked about in the video. So let's say, oh, I want to talk about a Final Cut Pro update. Well, I don't have specific footage showcasing that. I could just drop in this background and then I could add in a title and say, hey, I want everybody to subscribe. And we could throw that into a specific font, whatever. So this just gives more visual interest to your videos. And so one way to use it is, yes, you could have it fill the entire frame, but another way is if you did a split screen. So let's say that this piece of footage here is on top and I only want to show part of it. So I could just crop the bottom off and now we're seeing part of it, but obviously I would just have an empty gap here at the bottom. And so this just gives me the ability to have more visual interest on the screen. and that's what you would use a background for. So hopefully that clarifies and adds some context for why you might want to use a background. Jason Herman in the house. Appreciate you, Jason. Man, we gotta hang out in the real world one of these days. That'd be fun. Hey, Dylan, I love the ProZooms. I think it's the most used plugin that I use in Final Cut Pro for my videos. That is great to hear because we are in the same boat. ProZooms, by far, my most used plugin. Just because of you, I haven't switched to Adobe software. Thanks for all the tutorials. Hey, that is awesome. We're here, guys. We did it. You're here with us. We didn't lose another one to Adobe. I gotta say, Travel Ikian? I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. But if you ever leave Final Cut Pro, first of all, we can't ever speak again. No, I'm kidding. But if you do leave Final Cut Pro, don't go to Adobe. Go to DaVinci Resolve. I feel so much better if people leave Final Cut Pro for DaVinci Resolve. Oh, Jason with the super chat. Appreciate you so much. And again, Jason, this super chat is actually going to go to help St. Jude's Medical Center. Thank you so much, and I'll be matching this donation too. Incredible tutorials, courses, currently working through Apple Motion slowly. Oh, that's awesome. And your enthusiasm, which makes it fun to learn. Thank you so much. Super appreciate you, Jason. Logan Webb, too many slices. I wonder if that's reference to my little slicer for vertical video. Probably. I'm so far. Stop spamming. He's reading all the comments and he will eventually read yours. Yep, I did get there. It just took me like an hour. I don't know why auto titles have been such an issue for the big NLEs. Resolve got them recently, but it's still light years behind CapCut. I don't get it. Stuart, that's probably because CapCut steals all your data. I don't know. I don't know why. It is kind of insane because AI like really wasn't a thing 3 years ago. I mean, it was, but AI as we know it today 3 years ago wasn't anywhere near where it is now. So it does feel like people are still catching up when AI is just exploding, and now we have Will Smith eating spaghetti perfectly and we still don't have auto captions. So I don't know, hopefully it comes soon, but yeah, it is kind of interesting how that's taking a long time. Rotten Apple, congrats on 5 years. Appreciate you, Rotten. And make sure you guys go check out Rotten's channel because I'm gonna make a quick appearance over there soon. Logan Webb, my sister went to St. Jude a decade ago. Thank you for supporting. We didn't have to pay a dime. That is so incredible, Logan. I absolutely love to hear that. Ash, hey Dylan, congrats on 5 years, man. What? Oh, I guess he re-asked it probably because of the spam. So again, I don't know. 3D tracking would be super cool. I would love that. And then tagged in audio, yes. Hi, sir. Hey, Nabil. Hope you're doing well. Felicidades, maestro. Saludos desde Bolivia. Hey to Bolivia. Appreciate you. I guess I didn't know they... Is that Spanish? I'm sorry, guys. I'm super American. Because, like, that sounded Spanish to me. I speak Spanish a little bit, but I didn't know they spoke that in Bolivia. So I'm learning new things. Patrick Sterling in the house. Glad to see you, Patrick. And congrats on your channel too, brother. Guys, if you're leaving DaVinci or leaving my channel for DaVinci Resolve, you have to go subscribe to Patrick, okay? So he's just killing it over there. Logan, top feature you would steal from each of the other big NLEs. Ooh, okay. If I had to steal a feature from Resolve, that would probably be the node-based color grading. That would be super cool to have in Final Cut. If I had to steal something from Premiere, it might be the auto AI audio extension feature that they have. Like you take your music and extend it and it automatically finds the cut points. That would be really cool. Or the auto multicam editing would be incredible. So one of those features. And I don't know even what Avid has. So, you know. Oh, I know what I would steal from Avid. The Avid's known for being really good at enabling many editors to work on the same project all at the same time. So that would be cool to have in Final Cut Pro. If you could have multiple editors all dialed in on the same project, chopping away, that would be super cool. So that's what I'd steal from Avid. What's up, D-Train? What's up, Joni? Appreciate you. Johnny. Is it Johnny? DaVinci Resolve is blowing up. Yes, they're killing it over there. Great answers. Thanks. So glad. Thank you, Ocho Verde. The launch of Final Cut Pro is such a weirdly vivid memory for me. My senior year in high school, first learned on Final Cut Pro 7 and then talked my teacher into picking up the Adobe suites so I could play with After Effects. And now you're in Resolve, man? What's wrong with you? Just stick to an editor. Patrick is also wondering, am I still handling thumbnails by myself? Yes, I am. I did try working with a thumbnail editor not that long ago, but I just realized financially it just made more sense for me to create my own thumbnails. And I was also just spending so much time preparing the assets and sending them over to the thumbnail editor. And I was just like, I'm spending the same amount of time, but I'm not getting the creative part of the thumbnail. So it wasn't really solving any of my problems. So I just went ahead and started making them again. Do I strictly do Final Cut Pro tutorials, or do people also hire you for work? Like I said earlier, way earlier in the stream, I do 99% of my life is Final Cut Pro tutorials. And then there's a very small sliver of life where I take on freelance work, specifically for projects I'm really passionate about, or if it's a close friend, stuff like that. So, but basically everything is just creating tutorials here on YouTube. Roz at Inspire Video. Hey, I appreciate you. I always see you here hanging out with me, Roz. Thank you so much. Hey, Dylan, congrats on 5 years, man. What? Oh, here we go, Ash. Let's see. Final Cut Pro. Love Final Cut for its simplicity. Thank you, Apple. Will add motion like tools. Really miss keyframe graphs. DaVinci's AI subs and graph editor are great. Oh, that's true. They did get that graph editor. But Final Cut Pro just easier. Greetings from Russia. Hello to Russia. Yeah, man. Keyframes in Final Cut would be... Oh, that would be so nice. Just like really, really good keyframes. That would make my life right there. If I had AI captioning and then ultimate keyframe editor that blows Adobe away, because Adobe has a really solid speed graph editor and stuff, that would just be primo. I would love that. Yusuf, bro, not asking something, but I love your magnetic mask transition videos. I use that transition every time. That is awesome. Love to hear it. Matt Chamberlain. Hey, Dylan, not on for long, I'm afraid, but wanted to stop to say thanks for all your videos. Helped on numerous occasions. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Matt, for hanging out for a quick minute here. Hey, Dylan, I'm late, but I'm glad I made it. Michael Cunningham, killing it with his editing. Make sure you go check out his channel. Just got your new vertical plugin today. It's so good. Glad to hear it. Appreciate you, brother. Tycoon Territory. Hello from Paris, France. Man, I would love to get over to Paris, France one of these days. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well over there. Any predictions for Final Cut Pro this year? Honestly, I don't know. For the rest of this year, I feel like we're not going to get any like mind-blowing updates for the rest of this year. But at the start of next year, I have no idea, but I am anticipating like a pretty big substantial update again. That would be really cool. Ari, you're awesome. Best Apple Motion YouTuber ever. I just started using the program. Did you or will you make a video on how to do camera projection or make a simple 3D space with 2D pictures? Sorry for the long message. Hey, that is totally fine, Ari. So that is a good question. If there's actually a YouTuber that already did that. Simon Ubstill has some awesome 3D projection tutorials, and he does some really cool hallways and stuff. It is something I would like to do my own spin on, but he's already killing it over there. So go check out Simon Ubstill's channel for that specific thing, and you'll find some really cool stuff. Michael Cunningham coming in with the info on M captions. Appreciate you, brother. It can detect languages, so I'm going to assume it can do multiple languages. Yeah, that would make sense. To answer that question regarding finding out event sizes, go to the library, show package contents, and you can look at them in a list with sizes. ChatGPT, hey, AI for the win. Oh, yes, I love audio in templates for Resolve 2. Wouldn't that just change everything? It absolutely would. Morrison DV, congrats on 5 years. Appreciate you, Morrison. Let's not show that one. I'm just gonna ban that one there. Taylor Bates, best brother in the West. If you had to pick a favorite video project that you work on, which one would it be? That is a good question, Taylor. If I had to, let's see. I almost want to see if I can find it on YouTube. Oh, okay. I really had so much fun working on my Italy video, so I'm just going to share it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to pull it up here. Here we go. Oh, but you know what? My Poland video too. Let's see if I can find it. Travel film shot on iPhone. I had so much fun with this one. So if you didn't get to see it, you're going to have to watch it now. So I'm sharing that. You can check it out. That's probably high on the list, Taylor. Tech Mixer, regarding captioning, I did a workflow recently with Mac Whisper and the audio file export to SRT, imported as captions, then use Caption Animator. That's the app I was thinking of to convert the captions within Final Cut Pro to titles. That's a super cool workflow. I need to do a video on that. Tycoon Territory, what do you think are the best value for money plugins and themes for Final Cut Pro? That really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking, if you're looking for utility plugins, I just have to plug myself here. I think I'm charging a little bit too little for the utility plugins with Pro Zooms and Pro Vertical. I think those are some of the best. My Motion Tools plugin is ridiculous because it has 160 generators and tools and effects from Motion for Final Cut. But that's my self plug. I think if you are looking for, honestly, if we're being real, I know people hate subscriptions. I get it. I'm in the same boat. I haven't even been doing a lot of sponsored videos with Motion VFX lately because of the subscription, but like they just keep adding more and more and more, and it's actually becoming a really high quality premium thing it's becoming more and more affordable because they're adding so much to it. So if you can swing the subscription, I would check out Design Studio by Motion VFX. That is linked in my list, which is linked below in the description of this. And that is an affiliate link, so that does help out the channel, which I appreciate. But if you don't use it, that's fine. So Design Studio is really good, but it is frustrating because it's, locked behind a subscription. I get all that. Totally understand. I would say also, okay, Coritin, I'm killing his name. Coritin Abulin, I think, is how you say it. That guy is creating some of the craziest effects I've seen for Final Cut Pro using Apple Motion. That is linked. Hold on, I got a link to that somewhere too. Let's go fcbplugins.com. Here we go. Get over to my blog. Oh no, it's on my discovery page. Okay, so there's some super cool tools on this page. Get over to my live stream again. Here we go. So if you're looking, he's creating some killer stuff and very, very cheap. And then also Brad West came out with his new Pro Animate tool, which I think is underpriced and so good. That's a really incredible one. There's a lot listed on that specific page that I just sent. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Hopefully it's not too far. Yeah. Patrick, how is Proto 3, huh? You're killing it over there. Working on it on his other monitor right now. That is awesome. Taking in the Final Cut Pro content, but making the best DaVinci Resolve tools. Tech Mixer, if you get the paid version of Mac Whisper, it does different languages. I did not know that. That's super cool. Eric Geringer, I'm new to Final Cut Pro, still on the free trial, but have learned so much from you. The last pro video editing software I used was Sony Vegas 10 plus years ago. I used it over 10 years ago too. That's awesome. So glad you're here, Eric. Yes, I catch it. Thank you for explanation about backgrounds. Hey, glad. Thank you. It's taken me a long time to get through these messages. I apologize. I used Apple Motion plus Final Cut Pro for my 2D cartoon animations. I have learned a lot from your videos. Thank you so much. When I copy a file from my previous projects, it turns some objects to 3D. How can I fix? Good question. So I'm not sure why it would automatically be doing that, but if you have an object that is 3D, here we go. I'll go ahead and switch this. So this little tiny icon right here is when you know it's 3D. So if it's that 3 layers, that's when it's 3D. This is when it's 2D. So it looks like, well, 2D boxes, I guess. So you can quickly switch it from 3D using that. I don't know why it would be randomly switching your layer to 3D. That's kind of strange, unless it was just previously set to 3D up here. That would be my only thought. Or maybe if you have a 3D camera, it's automatically going to switch everything over to 3D. And then it could be that you're pasting into an object or into a scene with a 3D camera, and that would make it 3D. Hopefully that helps. I don't know specifically why you're running into that issue. Eric, yes, AI did used to be called machine learning, but you know, now it's not as big of a buzzword to call it machine learning. So, Brett the intern, Dylan, everything you make is fire. Appreciate you, Brett. Let's get you from intern to professional video editor who runs the entire show. Hopefully with some of my videos. That's the hope. Appreciate you so much, Brett. Ash, great answer. Apple Motion Waveforms and Final Cut Pro would be awesome. Sorry about the spamming. No worries, Ash. Super appreciate you. Dog going off in the backyard. Let's see. Dave Schmidt, happy 5 years. Always inspiring. Appreciate you, Dave, so much. Congrats on 5 years. Far and away the best online educator who doesn't inject politics into your tutorials. Thank you for being authentic and relatable. Patrick, let me tell you, politics. Let's just get into it. Let me lay it all out for you. No, I have decided that never in a video you will ever get an agenda of any type. That's just, it doesn't make sense, right? Because video editors come from all forms of life, and so it doesn't make sense for me to interject my own political opinion. I want you guys to make your own decisions, and I want nothing to do with the decisions you make. So appreciate that. Hopefully we can keep that going on here on the channel. Roz, will adding a magnetic mask clip to a compound clip always break the magnetic mask? That is a good question, Roz. I'm not sure. Will adding a magnetic mask clip to a compound clip? I don't know. I'm not sure I know the exact use case for that, so I'm not sure I can offer a very good answer to that. Sorry, Roz. It's cool. Congrats, Dylan. Thanks for all the helpful videos you've taught us so much. Appreciate you. It's cool. Man, it's crazy. There's so many of you guys just hanging out. So cool. Thank you. It's cool. So cool. Everybody's cool. Taylor Bates, pipe dream question. Are there any ideas or projects you would one day love to work on down the road? Pipe dream question. Honestly, my pipe dream is just making really cool plugins that make editing easier. So that's the thing I really love making. So I don't know that I have like any huge movies or anything I want to make. It would be really fun to get enough of a personality to create a vlog channel similar to Ryan Trahan or something. It would be fun to have a secondary YouTube channel that is just more of my personality. But that is a pipe dream, I think, because I don't know that I have an interesting enough life to bring that to the table. I would definitely have to get out of the editing chair a lot more than I am. So, but yeah, a second channel where I'm able to explore more avenues of my own personal life would be super fun. When we edit HDR videos, the clips appear dull in the browser panel, but works fine when we import in the timeline. Is there a way to fix it so it looks like the original in the browser panel? Ooh. So I don't work a lot with HDR. I do a very minimal amount. I'm curious. Oh, travel-ition like magician politician. Oh, that is good. I like that. So I guess the question would be, is your project an HDR project? Because this is how little I use HDR. But I've been trying to make my templates work with HDR though. So if we modify this library, do wide gamut HDR, yeah, everything's gonna change on me real quick here. And if we go So on my screen right now, everything looks okay, but it could be because I'm not working with, I'm not working with HDR footage. Duh. So you're saying like HDR footage here in the browser looks dull. I honestly, I don't know if there is a way to address that. I wish I had a better answer for you there. Do a quick test. Can I change the color gamma on this? I don't know if I can. Color conform, manual, conversion type. HDR. So I can make them look dim. I mean, this is SDR footage. But if I change the color conform over here on the right side, I'll walk through that again because I went fast. So I click on the footage, go to the, where was that? Oh yeah, it's in the video inspector, and just change the color conform here. I would be curious if that would update it in your HDR timeline, or browser, excuse me. That's where I would look. I'm not super certain on that. Hopefully that gives you something. Travelation, that is such a cool name. I love that. In the Motion Masterclass, do we get access to you for more questions? Yes. So Michael, I have my masterclass has like my Discord, which you're in my Patreon Discord. So it's basically like that. And I'll be honest, like, I just don't like gating information as much as possible. I just want to be freely available if I can. So if you have questions, just reach out to me in email. You don't have to be part of the masterclass. I wish I could prioritize people based off if they are here or there, but I'll be honest, if I try and prioritize specific elements, like if you're paying over here and paying over there and stuff, it's impossible for me to manage as a one-time or one-man show. It's just so much easier if I just equally give out to everybody and say, okay, yeah, I'll respond to your question here. So I just do my best to answer in the emails as fast as I can. So that's a great place. But I do have the Discord channel and I do hang out there quite a lot. I do occasionally, I'm able to record a screen recording and send something like that. And that's what Discord's really great for. But yeah, honestly, freely ask me questions anywhere. I wish I could answer every comment I get, but I seriously have so many comments, which I'm super grateful for. But instead, I have to read the comments and I take them in and I take in the ideas. And if there's something that I can answer within like 30 seconds, then I'll do it. But I can't always respond to all the comments, which is interesting. But my email is a great place if you are wanting a more in-depth answer, and you can send me screenshots, which helps a ton. But yeah, Masterclass is a great way to just learn Apple as a whole. And then I have done a few live streams over there and I want to do more. But like I said, way at the beginning of the stream, this has been one of the busiest times of my life, so I haven't been able to do that. Man, Simon Ubsdale is a legend. Yeah, he is. And he started doing Resolve content. That guy's crazy. I love to get video editing in Final Cut Pro via caption editing like in Resolve. Oh, that would be super sweet. I would love that too. Editing world, I not like to use compressor. How to export mono audio in Final Cut Pro. Editing world, good question. You can, let me switch over to the screen. At any time, you can change your audio source by selecting your clip that has the audio and going up to your audio speakers here. And you'll see that I can change this over to dual mono, stereo, or reverse stereo. So I can just set that to dual mono. Now, technically, that audio will be mono. I want to say in my settings, let me see. I feel like you can set it to mono here too, but I could be wrong on that. Audio only is separate. Channel. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, let me walk through that because I super quickly clicked. So you'll just go to your export menu, export file. And then in your settings, I would set this over to video and audio, and then set this to H.264 if you want it to be a pretty small file size. Or if you're doing just audio, you could do that too, audio only. And then in your roles, you could go ahead and audio only as separate files, or you could probably do it QuickTime multi-track. Nope, you can't do it there. So we'll do separate files. Wait, where is it? It was just there. It's gone. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know why it's giving me an error here too. Somehow I got in, anyway. But yeah, you can set it over here in the audio inspector. I don't know why that option vanished on me. I did something wrong, guys. User error for sure. So hopefully that helps. This is your ticket here, though, is converting everything to dual mono here. Loving your new haircut. Unless I am wrong, I always thought you had longer hair. Yes, I'm loving my haircut too. It's been really nice. I don't get my hair in my mouth when I'm trying to eat and it's windy out. It's been awesome. It's super easy to maintain. Highly recommend if anybody is considering cutting their hair. I really thought I was going to hate it for the first few weeks, but man, I've loved it ever since. So that's a win. We did it. I was also curious how the YouTubes would handle the haircut, and everybody was so nice. Super appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. ELT is saying, I have an old Intel 2019 MacBook Pro and would like to update. What recommendation would you have within a $2,000 budget so I can get back to producing and editing good videos? That is a super good question. So for $2,000, I personally would look at refurbished Macs, and specifically Apple Silicon Macs are absurdly good. I had an M1 Max before I upgraded to this M4 Max that I'm using right now, and it screamed through everything. It was incredible. So I would just take a look at getting an M1 Max refurbished from somebody, or like Facebook Marketplace or wherever you want to buy it. And that's where I'd go if I was trying to stay within a $2,000 budget. The stuff that I would really focus on improving is internal storage is huge. I would put more money into internal storage, and then also getting higher cores and stuff like that. So within that $2,000 budget, maybe leveling up those. It's hard to get a really top of the line system for $2,000 right now in the M4 Max world or anything like that, but refurbished Macs are so good. They're a crazy good deal. Yeah, so that's where I would look. Hopefully that's helpful to you. And let's see. Hey, to Pratik. Hi, want motion tutorial for logo animations. Pratik, I have quite a few on the channel. Most of them are labeled logo something, so just look up logo. I have a bunch over there. Danny, hi from Ukraine. What updates do you think are coming to Final Cut? I really do think eventually we're going to get auto captions in Final Cut, and I think it's going to be awesome however they implement it into the system, but I don't know for certain. I'm trying to think of other areas that I would love to see Final Cut Pro enhanced. I'm hoping for an improved keyframe system. So at this point I'm looking at like the two things I want the most, improved keyframes and then auto captions. And the third thing that I would love is just more tools in the audio side of Final Cut, specifically being able to apply an effect across an entire roll in Final Cut Pro without having to compound clip everything. That would be super cool, and I would love that. And just a side note, if I could get this, if we could get compound clips on the timeline and being able to expand and view them within the context of the full timeline without breaking them apart, that would be chef's kiss. I would love that. That would be awesome. But yeah, I don't really know. There hasn't been a ton of rumors of what's coming down the pipeline, so I'm not sure. I feel like they're cooking up something good. So the updates lately have been pretty good, and I'm excited about that. Hey, appreciate you, Pratik. Hope I create a tutorial for logo animations as well. Yes, and specifically, you might be asking, because I think you have messaged me before about the logo animation for my channel. And I do want to create a tutorial for that, but I'm actually going to save that for my motion masterclass because it would be a very, very long video. And I know it's going to do terribly on YouTube because it's so long and detailed. So it's going to be much better served over in my Apple Motion Masterclass where people are coming for the actual depth of the videos. I found that sometimes when I ramble and give all the information in a video, people click off really quick because they just want like the quick effect and done. And I get it. That's me too. Like I just want a tutorial that's just like, here's how to do it. We're done. So I found that for the more in-depth concepts, I need to put that in my masterclass for people to get the most use out of it. So, but I do plan on doing like small segments of that tutorial here on the channel. So maybe how to do the clapperboard animation or like the explosive colors behind. I think those will be like singular segments which can help bring along the full picture. Hey, it's Tina, Dilleen, happy 5 years. Love Matt, Tina, Ellie, Lily, and Asher. Love you guys. Hope you guys are having a good time. Miss you. Hopefully we can hang out soon. I got to chat to Mary about that. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Sir Dylan the Dude, congrats on the milestone. Hey, it's good to see you, Ben. Appreciate you. How are you missing the hair? I don't know if you saw the segment about me talking about it, but I'm really happy with short hair. Man, Yavankani from South Africa watching at 22:04, staying up late. Hopefully you can get some sleep so your edits come together well tomorrow. Appreciate you. Taylor coming in with some great answers. In response to Roz's question, I've also had issues with magnetic masks not staying lined up properly when I use compound clips, or especially with anything that uses stabilization. Oh, okay, that's super helpful to know. I actually didn't realize that, so I don't apparently use the magnetic mask enough. What I've had to do is to work around this, stabilize the shot as best I can, export it as a full quality uncompressed video, then bring it back in and use the magnetic mask on that new clip. So that is the way to do it. That seems like an annoying workaround, and it would be great if that was just resolved internally in Final Cut, but you know, there it is. I just saw your answer my question about the lines. I was talking about Bezier lines inside of Motion. Link a linked handle published to Final Cut Pro. I can link a handle to the entire line point. But okay, so I was talking about Bezier lines. Let me take a sip of water here. I can link a handle to the. Okay, so yes, you can handle. So here's what you can do in Motion. You can link specific points of a line to on-screen controls, but you can't do any tracking or anything like that in Final Cut Pro, which is frustrating. So let's get into the technical weeds. Let's do it, guys. You're all going to click off if you don't care about Motion, but you know, we're going to do it. So here we go. To track, or it's not tracking, but to connect a point, we will just create 2 points with a Bezier line here. And let me think of how I want to do this best, because I need an image file. Wonder if I can find one. Target. Hey, I do have one. Sweet. Okay, so you need to bring in an image file. This is super important to have this image file for this particular thing. And basically, I'll scale it up, and I'm just going to place it over that first point here. And basically, we'll select our Bezier point, and then we'll go up to behaviors, motion tracking. No, wait, where is it? Maybe it's shape? Yeah, it's shape. So go to shape, track points, and then we're going to drag in that image. So Motion is basically going to think it's motion tracking this image. And what we can do is disable the secondary track point there. And so now if I take this image, it should, if it does right. Oh, I need to go transform, set that to attach to source. I think that'll fix that. There we go. So now you can see how that control point is moving with this image. And so basically what you would want to do is in your library, we'll go to color solid, and we'll go to filters, distortion, black hole, and we're just going to hide that, and we'll call it on-screen controls. And now I'm actually just going to move this over that point. So from there, we'll take our target inspector, go to our position X and Y, click on this down arrow, add a parameter behavior. We're going to link that bad boy up to the on-screen controls. This is super quick, I'm sorry. We'll go to filters, black hole, center, and X. So now the X value of that black hole parameter is driving the X value of our image, but it's way over here to the side, so we need to adjust the offset on that to negative 0.5, and now it should be in the correct position, and it's not, and I don't know what I did wrong. I missed something along the way, but it is kind of working, so I'll just do it for the one control point to keep things moving, but maybe it's because, it's because I offset it there. Let's redo that. There we go. There we go. So the reason that it was having an issue is because I moved that on-screen control. So I just reset that. And now you can see I can move that with the on-screen control, and I could publish that on-screen control and hide the target. And so now I have the ability to move this line. So you'd need to do that for the X value, the Y value, and you'd need to do that for two separate targets. So this first target, under track points, this first target is on track 1. And then you would need to do another target that's disabling track 1, and it's just track 2. Hopefully that gets the idea there. Unfortunately, you can't do... That's probably... I just realized what you're asking. So unfortunately, you can't adjust like Bezier handles specifically, like the curvature of the line. So you would have to basically pre-bend the Bezier line like this. And this pre-bent image file, or this pre-bent line would work, or it should. What did I do wrong? I jacked it up. But I do know from Motion VFX plugins, like they have pre-bent lines like this. And so it does have that nice curvature, but you can't really adjust that curvature further. Again, I did something wrong. I don't know what I did wrong, but, it's because I turned that off. There we go. So yeah, now I have that curvature of the line, but I can't change how much that curvature is happening. Hopefully that informs you, and yeah. Oh man. Now my Mac won't. Let's put my keyboard back to the other computer here. I got two Macs. There we go. Appreciate the transparency and support. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. I'm assuming that's about the Motion Masterclass. Appreciate you, brother. I don't know how to link a handle to just one specific point so I can create custom lines that are editable. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. OMG, I found some object was 3D mixed with 2D icons. I can fix it now. Thank you so much from Thailand. Sorry for my grammar. No problem. Appreciate you. Your English is better than mine. Hey Dylan, congrats on 5 years. Do you know an easy way to apply chromatic aberration to text or footage? Keep up the good work. Larry the Cat. Good question. So there's an awesome effect called Prism that's already in Final Cut Pro that you can use. I can show it here in Motion too. So let me switch back over to the screen. Filters, blur, and prism. So it's not like, it's more red-blue chromatic aberration. Oh, it's applied to the wrong one. Here we go. Or red-green, excuse me. So you can get a very subtle amount of chromatic aberration just like that with the built-in prism effect. It's not like a super accurate chromatic aberration, but the prism effect is a great place to start, and I apply it onto titles and stuff like that. If you want a more accurate one, I would probably go check Motion VFX. I don't know. I can't think of a really like high quality chromatic aberration plugin off the top of my head. Maybe I should make one. But yeah, that prism effect is what I use to get a very basic version of that. Luke Gall, hey Dylan, appreciate everything you're doing for the community. My company is working on an arts platform and we plan on reaching out to you. Just wanted to say hey and congrats. Hey, appreciate that, Luke. That is exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And Backroom Editor saying ELT experiences, you can pick up a great refurbished MacBook Pro like M2 or M3. Yes, that is going to be huge for under that $2,000 Mark. Kevin Matthews, hey Dylan's, congratulations on 5 years of awesome YouTube-ness. Appreciate you. You and Mr. Dylan John, that guy, he's the better Dylan. Let's all be real. Have been so helpful to me over the past 3 years of Final Cut Pro. Thank you for everything you do. Appreciate you, Kevin. Yeah, I love Dylan John. That guy is just such a fun guy to hang out with. So super blessed to get to know him in real life. ELT Experiences, thanks all Backroom Editor for the reply, and thanks Dylan Bates, that's me, for answering my question. Here we go. Let's keep on scrolling to Yamakani. Any tips on doing multicam editing with cameras with different frame rates, 25 frames per second, 23 frames per second? After a while, my audio gets out of sync. Yes, I have a great tip for that. I don't think I'm set up for it. Let's see. I will, let's open up this one. Here is my timeline. Okay, so you're gonna just have to use a little bit of imagination with me, so I apologize for that. But let's pretend that one of these, for example, my audio is slightly out of sync from my video in this multicam. So this is a great tip from my buddy Brad West. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Let me drink some water. Man, let's go. Let's draw the waveforms. Man, the waveforms do not want to draw today. That is unfortunate. Usually they don't take so long. But what you can do is, I wish the waveforms were here, but you can find a peak in your waveforms at the very end. So a spot you know exactly is the same audio. Here we go. I got waveforms now. So let me increase the scale of my waveforms. Actually, we'll just do this. So if we wanted to make sure that these two were synced, I would just come to the shot that is slightly out of sync and looking at the waveforms, find that same matching waveform, push M to create a marker, and then I would push Command R to retime it. And I would also I need a marker on this other one. Oops, I accidentally minimized it. Clicking too many things here. So just to add 2 markers, I'm gonna out of sync this just for the sake of it. So I have a marker up top and a marker down here. And I'm just gonna retime this secondary shot so that marker lines up. And so now those 2 shots should technically be in sync. So it's a very, very minor retiming, but it does generally fix that issue of stuff getting out of sync. And you'll notice that Final Cut Pro actually still says, hey, it's at 100% value here, even though I did retime it. That's because it's so minor, it's within that 1% range. So you can do that. That's what I do to get my footage back in sync if it's barely out. Yeah, hopefully that helps. So again, the rundown, add markers to the different peaks in your audio, and then line up those 2 peaks using the retime tool. And that should work. Hopefully that helps for you. Let's see. Hey, we got Switch Stop in here. I'm so far on these, so far behind on these. Okay, let's see. Hello from Serbia, a country that has its youth woke and ready to learn. So keep doing what you do so much, so more people can learn new awesome techniques for editing. Appreciate you. Hope you guys are having a good time over in Serbia. Staying healthy. Congrats and road to 100K is now a new goal for everyone. Yeah, I would love to hit 100K. That would be incredible. Where do you get inspiration? Like you're programming an app. I mean, that is awesome. The inspiration for programming an app is because it's an app that I have just desperately wanted for so long. As somebody who does a lot of tech support through my emails, I was like, it would just be great if there was an app that solved this specific problem. And I was just curious. And so I just jumped on ChatGPT and started asking it like, hey, how can you help me learn how to code? That would be sweet. And so I looked up some stuff online for prompting it to be good at coding. And it literally just came from a place of really needing this specific app. So that's why I created it. And that's where I got the inspiration for that. Roz thanking Taylor, and then let's see, generic. Can you make a compound clip of compound clips, nested compound clips, if you will? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes I'll have like 5 or 6 compound clips just nested within each other. So yes, you absolutely can. And Switch Stop, hey man, congrats on the anniversary and keep killing it as always. Appreciate you guys. Someday I need to email you guys. It would be super fun to play some Mario Kart together. Yes, on-screen controls to a specific point. Exactly. Hopefully that answered your question. Track points behavior. Yes, that's the secret there. Man, you guys are killing the answers before I even need to here. Thank you, Dylan. Never heard of the track points behavior. I did not know the terms to explain this question, and you nailed it. Thank you so much. Yes, super glad. Can I export an XML file to Final Cut in order to finish a video that I tracked and added some motion VFX? You can import. Yes, you can. Just like Ben is saying here, he's a legend. You can import XML files. I have personally found them hit and miss depending on where you have exported them from and the format you choose. Yep, that's super true. Because sometimes you'll be exporting from DaVinci Resolve to Final Cut and it's just not a one-for-one, right? So they're doing their best to translate between the two apps, but it's just always going to be hit or miss. Yes, absolutely, Larry the Cat. Can I achieve a quick zoom out for an intro with a motion blur? Yes, you can. Oh, interesting. You're not able to do motion blur for the zoom out with ProZooms Plus. That's interesting. So something you could look at, Michael, one of my favorite tools, and I did it in my full overview video of my entire edit, is what is it called? Premium VFX's dynamic transitions. They have an awesome zoom out transition, has all the motion blur applied for you. It's super fast. It's not like real motion blur, it's faked, so it is very performant on your computer, but I use that all the time. It should be on that list that's linked below in the description too. Lost Hope, hello bro, greetings from Egypt. Hello to Egypt. And you were wanting to zoom out at the beginning of my hook intro. Yeah. Another thing you could do is using the actual pro burns or slow zooms, and just do a really short zoom. Let me see if I can show this. I'm on a vertical video. Let me change this actually. Losing my voice. What did I do here? My mouse just keeps jumping between the two Macs and it's not great. Okay. So another thing you could try with ProZooms, Michael, is here we go. We'll do ProZooms plus motion blur. And if we trim that off, and you want to zoom out, so we'll go to our title inspector, get rid of the built-in animation, and just super shorten this. And we'll be super zoomed in on this bridge, let's say. And so that should give you the that zoom out effect. And I don't know if that's exactly what you're looking for, but that has the motion blur applied to it. And then, but the plugin I use all the time, let's see, Premium VFX Dynamic Transitions, we'll do Out B Short. I use this all the time, and you'll see that that's giving me that nice zoom, and they've got the prism effect applied to that. Let me shrink that down. So that's a really cool one, and you saw how quick that was to apply. And what's cool is like I can go from one shot, out B, actually that needs to go on the second shot because that's B, and here's A. And now we're zooming out between the two shots. So I really like the Premium VFX dynamic transitions for that stuff. I don't know if that remotely answers your question, but hopefully that helps. Oh, and we got a backroom editor, Ben. Man, what a legend. Do you think AI might put off new editors from using Final Cut Pro, and how do you plan to keep this channel growing, not being negative? Just curious. Travelition. I'm actually, as long as I can pay my bills doing YouTube, I am actually not that worried about growth on the channel. It would be incredible to hit 100,000 subscribers. That's like a exciting goal, and I would love that. But honestly, my primary focus is just having a sustainable channel. I'm not focused on viral growth. I'm not focused. I just want to keep it organic, simple, make great products, and AI might take some editors from Final Cut Pro, sure. Just like DaVinci Resolve's taking editors from Final Cut Pro. But I do think that there's a very large user base of Final Cut Pro users out there. Not everybody's as vocal as we see on the internet about the editing tools they're using. So I'm not that stressed about it. Really, I just want to personally just want to focus on, can I pay my bills? Great. That's awesome. If I get 1 new subscriber this month or 1,000 new subscribers this month, that doesn't really matter as long as I'm able to pay my bills, right? Numbers are exciting for sure, but they don't inherently change who I am as a person or my lifestyle or anything. It's just a super fun number, and it's cool to see people joining me in my efforts to create Final Cut Pro content. And obviously 100,000 subscribers comes with the fancy YouTube award, which I would love to place in that empty spot back there someday. But yeah, that's honestly my main focus, is just make great products, great videos. And if people want to join me for that journey, that's super cool. What's my current storage workflow? Am I using a NAS? I know it's hard to manage all that footage. Honestly, Michael, the more time goes on, the more tempted I am to just delete all the old footage and work off internal storage only. Right now, I am on a Dropbox plan with 15 terabytes, and I just upload everything to that. But I've gone back to my old footage maybe twice or 3 times. Usually I just re-download the video off of YouTube if I need a video clip from one of my previous videos. So I'm just getting more and more tempted to delete it all. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm just like, it feels like a waste of money that I'm just pouring down the drain. I do have a NAS drive, but it wasn't fast enough for me to edit off of. And I just found Dropbox was simpler for me. But yeah, I just keep getting more and more tempted to just be rid of it. You know, I mean, it's just me talking to the camera. Like, I can recreate that at any time. So, although I could use all of this footage that I filmed over the years and upload it to an AI and then have the perfect AI that's exactly like me. So that could be handy. But at this point, I'm just kind of tempted to delete it all. Let's see if I can catch up here. Let's see. Prosthetic makeup effects by David. Hey, that sounds fun. Prosthetic makeup effects. I bet you have a killer Halloween. I gotta hang out with you for Halloween. That'd be sweet. Love your content. Thank you. Keep up the good work, man. Appreciate you. Tim saying, just wanted to thank you for teaching me Final Cut Pro and ramping me up pretty quickly. Love your channel. Awesome, Tim. I'm so happy. Michael and Ben going back and forth. I'm using the new ProZoom plugs with blur. What I have used is the slow burn and shortening it. Haha, yeah, that's what I've done, but no motion blur on that one and no prism effect. Michael, you can actually apply motion blur to any of the titles because there is the motion blur as an effect inside of your effects browser with the ProZooms Plus. So you could just apply that onto any of the slow burns and that will have the motion blur for you. AC, hello from Utah. Hey, I know these two. Alicia and Tristan, hope you guys are doing well. I've got to visit you guys over in Utah now. Editing world, but I try a lot of times, not possible to export mono audio with video and you need to use compressor, but compressor has an audio problem. I'm not sure what that would be, editing world. I'm not sure, but hey, if you're able to do it in DaVinci Resolve, that's awesome. If that's working, that's working. Matthew O'Brien in the house. Dude, I've been loving your cleaning teardowns of old products. That's been super fun to watch. Chase Rock, you're great, man. Keep it up. Appreciate you, Chase. Woodwork Journey. Ooh, hi, I'm late. Woodwork A woodworker is never late. They arrive precisely when they need to. Hopefully you've watched some Lord of the Rings there. EFCD is 15 gigabytes on Dropbox expensive. That completely depends on you and your own business ventures and how much income you have. So I think it's about $720 a year for 15 terabytes of storage on Dropbox. Yes, that's expensive, but that gives me, it does all the backing up. Of course, I can access it from anywhere in the world that I have an internet connection. It's very easy to sync to and everything. That said, I'm mad at Dropbox for, they had an unlimited plan that I was paying for, and then halfway through my subscription, they cut it, and it was a whole thing. I was really mad at Dropbox. So I don't support them as a company. I support them as a necessary evil. Going Coconuts, what's the best place to buy plugins? I bought some from Lenovo, and some of them in the pack didn't work. It's so hard to always get whole packs of plugins to work. I'm assuming you might be talking about Leno Effects, which they have great stuff. If you're struggling to get a plugin working, it could be a versioning issue, and you could check out my Motion Template Version Fixer. It's an app. It's $5, but it can adjust the version of a plugin that you've purchased, and a lot of the time it'll fix it. Not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time. So Leno Effects is actually really great. They've been making plugins for a long time, and I would recommend them. You could also check out Brett Effects. He's killing it over there, creating some amazing tools. So go check out Brett Effects. And then it just completely depends on the style of video you're creating, right? So like one plugin that's helpful for somebody might not be helpful at all for another person. So it's hard to just say all around best plugins. If you're looking for utility tools, I make some really great ones that I love and use in every single video. So if you're looking for easy zooms and stuff, you can check out my store, fcbplugins.com. If you're looking for quick animation tools, you can check out Brad West. He has some awesome tools over there. If you're looking for the best color grading tools, you can check out Eric Lentz. He's got an awesome store there. And then, of course, Motion VFX are just the kings of plugins. I aspire to be like them someday. They make just some of the best stuff. They are pricier for sure. The price is worth it, but it is expensive, and they are subscriptions, so I know that frustrates people, but this video is not going to be an opinion on that. So there's a whole bunch of places. Hopefully that's helpful, and you could check out the link that I have at the bottom of this video, and it links a bunch of plugins I use regularly. Did I say 15 gigs? I mean 15 terabytes. Yeah. I just came here to congratulate you, Dylan. Thank you for spreading so much positivity and information. Appreciate you, Shivam. Shivam? I'm so sorry, guys, if I killed these names. But I love you all. Yep. Ben, killing it over here. I bought your vertical pack a while ago. Yet to update to add the new stuff. Can't wait. I'm terrible and putting vertical content together. You and me both. Let me tell you. When I made the Pro Vertical plugin, I saw a gap in how vertical videos are made, and I was like, this is gonna be a great plugin. It's gonna inspire me to create a bunch of vertical content, but I personally haven't made that much more since I made the plugin, so I don't know, but I do know the tools work really effectively, so I'm really happy with that, and as long as it can help others, that's all that I need. You are my go-to Final Cut Pro teacher. Hey, I appreciate that. I only do personal travel videos. That's super cool. And each new is better and better. Thanks to you. Bruno from Canada. Love Canada. I got some friends in Canada. My dad did film school in Canada. Canada's the bee's knees. You guys are killing it up there. Matthew Pate, what is a feature you wish existed in Final Cut Pro that isn't the normal request? Ooh. Like the normal stuff that everybody... I mean, because my wish for a compound clip being expanded in the main timeline, I see it occasionally on lists, but it's not a super high request from a lot of people. Just being able to see contextually where the compound clip is. But let me think. I don't know. Literally just the, it's a motion request too. is sound effects in the templates for Final Cut Pro. That's game changer. Plugin developers can sell it as an addition to their packs if they wanted to. It makes it easier for everybody's life. So that one's not highly requested all the time because a lot of people aren't using Apple Motion, but it would change the game in a lot more ways than I think people realize. Vinner Films, let me reformulate. Can I export an XML from Apple Motion to Final Cut after tracking and adding some VFX motion? Oh, okay, I got you. No, not necessarily. So what you can do is export just the finished ProRes video. I do have a rough workflow, a round-tripping workflow video. So I'll just break it down here really simply so you don't have to go watch it. But basically you export your finished product from Motion. You import that piece of footage into Final Cut Pro. And you could export new versions of that same shot over and over and replace it in Final Cut Pro. But what I do is I just export that video as the exact same name, same duration, everything onto the same file. So I overwrite it, and Final Cut updates with those changes to that file. So as long as you don't change the audio at all, or you don't change the duration of the video clip, it works perfect. And so it auto updates in Final Cut with those changes from Apple Motion without the need for like an XML or something. An XML would be cool, but as far as I know, it's not really possible. Somebody may be more technical than me might have a better answer for that though. I fell asleep watching a video with my headphones on. I just woke up to this live. Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. Not a bad day then. I do love to save and clean old tech. Glad you're enjoying that content. Yeah, dude, keep going. It's so much fun. If you're looking for an alternative storage, there is Mega.nz. Oh, that must be New Zealand. I use them. They have a nice desktop and mobile app with a very affordable plans. Hashtag not sponsored. Ben, you need to get sponsored, man. I will check that out. Mega.nz. That's cool. What do you think to switch to DaVinci Resolve 20? If you like DaVinci Resolve 20, switch to DaVinci Resolve 20. If you like Final Cut Pro, stay with Final Cut Pro. I really don't think that there needs to be as big of an emphasis on the decision of editing tools that you're using as people make it. I think that just whatever makes you happy while you're editing, whatever gives you the tools you need, then go for it. How do I use replica effect in Final Cut Pro, and should I make it effect or generator? The replica effect, I'm not sure I'm aware of that. I do have the replicator effects in my Motion Tools plugin bundle, which I've published from Motion to Final Cut. Maybe that's what you're talking about, but I'm not totally sure. Austin Torres, hi there. Just wanted to say thanks for all the great content you have shared with everyone. I have just now started learning Final Cut Pro. Cheers. That is so cool, Austin. Super glad you're here. Owen Productions, or is it? Yeah, okay. I read it as Quen Productions for a second. What's up, Owen? How are you doing? Hey, did I make it to the bottom of the chat here? Did we do that? That is wild. My mouse keeps jumping around to the other Mac. Let me grab a sip of water. Oh my gosh, the time is like flying. It's been 2 hours. Hey, I appreciate you, Brian. Thanks for coming by the stream and hanging out. And, speaking of great Final Cut Pro resources on YouTube, have you guys checked out Dylan John, Brad West, Matthew O'Brien, Raphael Ludwig, although that guy's doing more Resolve content lately, but it's okay. And let's see, who am I missing? Eric Lentz, man. Eric Lentz is killing it with color stuff. There's some awesome resources out there. Of course, Ripple Training. Like, he can't not talk about Ripple Training. Those guys, I've looked up to them for a very long time. They're very cool, not just on the internet, but also in real life. And Simon Ubsdell making the best Apple Motion content out there. He blows my mind every time the stuff he comes up with. Jen Jager, of course. I don't know why I didn't say Jen Jager. Jen Jager is such an amazing human being in real life and online, and she's just sharing amazing knowledge. There's some amazing Final Cut Pro resources out there, and I hate to say it, but like we have one of the best communities. Like DaVinci Resolve, great community. Don't get me wrong, guys. Patrick, if you're watching this video still, love you guys over in DaVinci Resolve land. But man, the Final Cut Pro community is so cool. I love being a part of it. Very grateful for all of you guys. Pretty good. How about you? I am doing really well. 5 years is wild. Jen Jager, yep. Hey, we got Richard, Sharon, Jen Jager. Isn't Jen Jager the best? Remember, you have led the charge on making bedroom, business, and personal projects and pro work all possible for me and so many here. Take a bow, sir. That's awesome. That's all we do. We just sit in bedrooms and edit, and it's awesome. Tip, my wife, not interested in Final Cut Pro or Motion, loves Jen for her fashion sense. There you go. That's awesome. Do I plan on streaming more, or is this just a one-time special occasion? Brian, I always want to. I always, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, man, that was so fun doing a stream. But for some reason, I just get so wrapped up in creating new plugins or new videos that I never do it. I feel like if I were to sit down and create a schedule and like, okay, every month on this day, I'm going to do a live stream, that would probably help me get there. But for some reason, I don't do it. I don't know what's up with me. Because you guys are great. So I just need to do it. Hey, FBN. Hey, Dylan. Greetings from Germany. Love you guys in Germany. I have been to the airports in Germany. That's as far as I got out. I had like a pretzel, and it was a really good pretzel. And I know it's the airport. But it was a banger of a pretzel. Ben, do you speak German? That's incredible. Or maybe a little bit of German. I know you guys over in Europe, you speak like 60 languages, so that would make sense. But anyway, guys, my voice is completely shot. I have had so much fun with this live stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. And again, all the super chats that came in, I'm going to be donating over to St. Jude's Medical Hospital, which is super fun. I recently did a little video creating the Wheel of Doom from Ryan Trahan's series in Final Cut Pro. So if you want to support St. Jude's Medical Hospital, go check that video out. If you pick up the little plugin I made just for fun, all money from that goes to St. Jude's. So I'm going to be donating that on Thursday if you want to get in on that donation. And I'm matching the first $2,500 in donations. It's not going to be a shout out for myself or anything. It's literally just like from the Final Cut Pro community as a whole, wanting to help support this awesome cause. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Really, really appreciate you. And I literally have the best job in the world, and that's only because of you guys. So hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you. And we'll see you guys in the next one.